基礎から教えてあげましょう。
烈日よ、
いい度胸ね。
聞け、太陽の方向を。飛ぶか。今だ。散れ。
どよめく進学か。
燃えよ。
悪用の力を思い知りなさい。
この天下で裁く。せっはっでっせっでっせっせっせっふっはっ
響け格の目。シトラリン、リッツパパ、こうよ。手加減なしよ。
聞け、太陽の方向を。せっせっ散れ。烈日よ、消え失せろ。撃て。
土見めよ、契約を果たせ。悪用の
石煙に葬られよ。はあ、アクセル全開。し
この同点。同点について。この同点も同点について。 きにみ星とし無事今日の依頼星と深淵雨上がり
Oh, goddammit, wrong button. It's so annoying dealing with how everyone remaps their buttons. Like, never ever just basically copied Genshin's button layout, which is fine. Makes it convenient. You know, makes it super convenient. But for Enfield, which I've been playing a ton of, they're like, nope, we're going to change everything. Rather than we're gonna make your attacks. We're gonna make your attack square, whereas square does not. This square is the interact button for this game. So in this game, you go get close to something and then you press square to interact with it. For Enfield, it's like no, square is your basic attack button. So basically, they moved. And like the circle is basic attack button for this game. So they're like, okay, we're going to move your basic attack button from circle to square. But not just that, we're going to replace... It's not like we're making the interact button circle now. It's like, no, we're going to make circle dodge. Because we're going to use R1. Because R1 is Genshin's dodge and sprint. They're like, no, we're going to use R1 for our combo skills. So circle has to be dodge. And we're going to make a... So yeah, it's just really confusing, especially because I got the beta for that, so I've been playing that, and so it's like now I have multiple games where it's like, okay, square is interact, circle is basic attack, and R1 is dodge, and having to like getting back into Enfield where I'm just like, shit, I have to unlearn that fucking thing and be able to be ready to press circle at a moment's notice.
早速始めようか。何かポーズを取るべきか。どんな具合だ？写真は確かに受け取った。ああ。
Oh wait, no, it's on over here. Where is it? Oh, it's way. Oh, I see. It's way over there. I thought it's at 200 meters. It's 2,000 meters. Got it. It's back on Mount Alkang where we were before. I don't know why we're back here. Like we dealt with the issue here. Why are we? Is it? We have to wait for Mountain Shaper to be finished being punished before we can... It's like, this is kind of where we ended it. This is where we got one of the deadly cells of Zebai, but it's like... You think they would... Actually, no, I guess next we gotta find Zhongli. Zhongli is going after one of the other deadly selves. And then once we have those two, then we can go after the remaining one. Oh yeah, there's Zhongli's pillar, so presumably Zhongli's here. Unless maybe so. Actually, no. I was gonna say like, it's not me, and this isn't a co-op game where we can just like this isn't a co-op game where people can. I mean, it is a co-op game. You can co-op, but this isn't like other games. Like it's not like Enfield where it's like, oh, if someone leaves their structure, there is a chance for it to appear in your friend's realm to be automatically shared. It's like, yeah, as long as these pillars shouldn't be here.
老いぼれ二人は共犯だ。片方だけを罰するなど道理に合わぬ。仲良く3日間できんだ。
竜恩師。
本題に入ろう。帝君の方から連絡があった。
I find that a little weird. Oh my god, you're so harsh. It's a 3-day ban from a mountain that's not theirs. Like what? How is that harsh? Hey, you know this mountain you don't live on? That who knows how frequently you visit outside of the ban, right? Like, because it could be that they just like never visit each other. These are Adeptus, right? Their sense of time is all fucked up. So like 3 days might be like nothing to them, right? It could be that they only regularly see each other every like year or two, you know, because of how they see time. So like 3 days is nothing.
今朝天から降ってきたのだ。帝君が落としたもの。
Oh, I see. So does this geopillar contain the second deadly self?
どういうことなんだ？
そうとは限らない。特定のものにしかこの中に込められた意図を読めない。
Yeah, my bet is that he contained the deadly self within it, and then once we touch it, we're going to interact with them and pull them out.
旅人。試してみればわかるだろう。
慶作山の泉のほとりにお前のための入り口を用意しておいた。
どうだ？
Oh, I guess not. I guess he maybe found where the deadly self was and went to it and just left us to guide us over there. A letter would have worked equally well, but whatever.
帝君はわらわたちには手を出させないつもりのようだ。
昔から旅人を気に入ってたからの。じゃが、わしらは帝君に1000年以上も仕えてきた。わしらを
その通りだ。
じゃあ出発だ。
Okay, so this is the third act. I believe there's 4 total. So presumably Act 3 is collecting the second deadly self, and Act 4 is actually going after the final remaining one. Oh, that's spring. Going after the final remaining one, and Rex. Yeah, that's so fucking annoying. Having a board is like set to automatically attack the second you show up. But yeah.
のはずだよな。探そうぜ。
見切りました。
移して片付けましょう。行け。かつては比類なき威風を振るっていた眼神が今や竹林で腰掛けに丸まって月桃を作っているとはな。
Oh, I see. So this is just her normal home. This is where she's just been chilling.
老人のようだぞ。
これは小刀だ。 決闘ではない。
お？
かつて魔人が争っていた混沌の時代、人々は前線であの頃、もっと頻繁にこの世を訪れていたら。
しかしあの時代に天へ祈りを届けるために使っていた。
偶然であり偶然でない。
I mean, yeah, it's no shit, right? It's like, because it's like, yeah, they used to offer moon lanterns, like, yeah, but now there's a new purpose, and it's like, well, they already have experience making moon lanterns, so obviously they're not going to be like, okay, well, we're gonna call these Zhao lanterns, and let's completely redesign. Like, no, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? If you already made lanterns before, you can just use the same lantern making skills to make these lanterns. You know, and like, especially because if what ostensibly they are doing is the same thing, you're producing a lantern which you then release and let it float into the sky. There's going to be a limit to how different they can be, right? You have to make something that is going to float into the sky, so it has to have basically a hot air balloon. It has to basically be a hot air balloon. Yeah, it has to be a hot air balloon, so it's like you're gonna have to have a big bulbous thing to collect hot air, and you're gonna have to have a candle, and so it's like, yeah, there's just gonna be a limit to what you can do. And rather than have to come up with a completely new design just to be different, it's like you might as well just use the same design as you're used to. And maybe, like, you know, fine-tune them a little bit, but like, generally, it's like, yeah, you don't have to redo the entire thing just to be different.
猜疑に関する伝承にもまた同じように原型となったものがあるのだろう。
どれほどの瑠璃や美玉を抱えていようとも残念だ。今の人々は何があっても頭上の月に尋ねたりはしないのだろう。テイ君、君は属性の失勢となったというのに、なぜわざわざ危険を冒してまで私の身に宿る時の罰によって。
かつてお前は天意に逆らうことを恐れなかった。
何度も言うが、私は彼女の魂が散る前に切り落とした指針の一体に過ぎない。かつての老漢に関する事柄など、もはや私とは何の関係もない。
Man, she's very pretty.
テイ君も私たちがみんな白馬になれるからといって同じ存在だというのか？いいな。我々は同じ白馬ではないので。さて、そんなことはいい。
ああ。俺は優勢の魂を求めてきた。
おお、紫伯の人口を狙っているのか。
今、世の中には変革の兆しが見え始めている。新月が老漢の旧跡にも異変が起こり、地根がうつし世に出てくるようになった。そして最後の人根。
面白い。
三根を集め、亡き旧友を呼び戻した。
外では何やら大変なことが起きているようだな。昔、君が私をこの絹江から解放してくれたとき、私は君に手を貸し、共に戦い、陳玉の谷を平定し、慶作山を制圧した。すべてはそれで私たちの間にある貸し借りは清算したはず。
俺と紫伯は窮地の中だ。そしてお前は彼女の船体から生まれた濁りであり、 魂の一部を受け継いでいる。
我が骨身はかの分身。古き美玉も塵と化す。か。眼神よ。理解できないなら、そのまま
俺の考えが至らなかった。ならば。
おい、待て。こんな時は、私が断れないよう、新しい契約を提示するべきじゃないのか。地上の人間どもでさえ、商いにおいては交渉を繰り返すというのに、契約の神たる君が、さあ、もったいぶるな。なんとか言わないか。
そうだな。実は。
ふんふん。やはりそうか。だが、私は山中で自由気ままに暮らして、たまに迷い込んできた人間たちをもてあそんで楽しむだけ。
ならばなぜ、天地が崩れる前の古い物語を、飽きもせず凡人たちに語り続ける。
ただの暇つぶしだ。話したところで何になる？
Oh, I see. So basically, that video that Genshin's YouTube released, where it was a girl who fell off a cliff and met her, and she told the story about Langan. That basically was literally her. She was the one who did that. She was able to briefly communicate with the girl, because they're basically just saying how that's what she would do. She would tease mortals by telling them ancient stories. So she was the one there.
とっくに人の世に広まっているぞ。
And it seems likely that the girl that was told was the ancestor of the inn of the old dude that we met in Act 1. So it seems like she was the one who told the story to that girl, who then later had a family, and I don't know if she started the inn, but her and her family eventually started the inn in Liyue Harbor.
案内人を2人見繕ってきた。信じられないなら、彼女たちと共に山を降りて、今、リーウェは解凍祭の真っ最中。
それが私。
ああ、祭りで賑わう。
まさか山を降りてただ散歩させるというだけで代わりに優先。
まずは歩くだけ歩いてくればいい。取引。
ほう、それならば悪くない。
あ、勝利！やっと見つけたぞ。いなく
来たか。
君たちが案内人か。哀れな人間たちよ。慈悲深いガンオー帝君は君たちを私に売ったのだ。
オイラたちを売った？
言い過ぎだ。リーウェを案内してもらいたいだけだ。
それは私を楽しませてくれるかどうか次第だな。
楽しませる。
話に聞く理由エコーに行ってみるとしよう。人間、
この仙人、なんかそう。よし、じゃあオイラたちに任せる。ここがリーユエ。テイワットで一番栄えてる港ってだけじゃなくて、リーユエの人々が一番集まる場所でもあるんだぜ。ほほん。それで
まずは食事だな。腹を満たさねば。
おお、いきなりリーユエには2つ。
どちらも良さげだな。その2つの店はリーユエの人の。
そうでもないな。リー祭もユエ祭もでも心配ないぞ。今日の分は勝利の。まあまあ、お前はいよいよ刺客仙人に。
悪くなさそうだ。しかし
担保？もしかして荷物を運ぶやつだな。いろんな系統の料理を扱ってて、大衆向けの食材を使ってて、何より安くて美味しいんだ。みんな大好きだぞ。あそこの店長とはオイラたちに
万民の
ひひ待ってろよ、シャンディン。
旅人か。いい時に来たの。あとここにウェンツァイも書くつもりだ。うん、これでよしっと。
こうやって小刀を作って空に飛ばせば、指導教員にでも私が研究してるのは
Actually, I guess there was the whole thing of saying, like, Sele's... If a Sele falls in love, they turn into that other form. Little tiny form. So they used to be actual angels. So it could be that all the elf-eared people are descendants of human-angel relations. And then after that relation, the Sele turned into a little ghost spirit thing.
でも先生にそして船を降りた途端、はあ、だからそのお姉さんありがとう。次は
Yeah, I guess. So they're both spherical. I was wondering if the lantern itself would be slightly different. I mean, he did, as he said, drew his little like puppet buddy on it, but it's still a spherical one. So it is. They do look different than the ones that we make, that players make, but not like. But they are not super distinct from each other. Like all the NPCs kind of make a similarly shaped lantern with maybe a different decoration on it.
シャンリン、ウー師匠、ご飯食べに来たぜ。
お、珍しいお客さんだな。
旅人、パイモン。今日はお客さんが多いから早くどこかにかけて。お姉さんは見かけない顔だね。新しいお友達？おお、なるほど。はじめまして。旅人の友達なら私の友達でもあるってことだよ。私はシャンリンだよ。万民堂の
シャンリン。リーゆえに
もちろん知ってるよ。
私こそが。
あなたがその
楽しそうじゃないか。最近外ではロールプレイという有名な人物のふりをする遊びが流行ってるらしいぞ。
That's hilarious. It's the father who's explaining cosplaying to the children.
旅人の友達は文化に精通して。
なんでそんなこと知ってるの？私知らなかったよ。
お客さんたちが教えてくれたんだ。だから言っただろう。3歳ばかりと。
私だって友達くらいいるよ。ほら、お姉さん、私あなたのこと
私は本物のハグ。
すっかり役になりきってるね。じゃああなたのことを本物の白馬じゃあおいらは本物の旅人だ。二人はちっとも似てないよ。服を着替え。
君たち人間はなかなかに面白いな。付き合ってやろう。
ああ、ほらほら、突っ立ってないで。シャンリンさんとウー師匠はいらっしゃいますか？ お、旅人、注文を取りに来たよ。
ロココです。
Oh yeah, she's the one who was possessed by the other self.
とにかく申し訳ありませんでした。
ああ、お前さんか。あの日は本当に
もうお父さんってば、カーカーちゃん気にしないで。あの時は病気だったんでしょ。元気になったよ。ほらほら座って、私がごちそうするよ。
え、そんな。
遠慮することないよ。ずっと外で作業してれば。今日はお店が混んでるから席がなくなっちゃった。じゃあ一緒に座ろうぜ。4人。ありがとうね。それじゃあみんな何食べる？
何人もやられたという黒瀬鈴木の唐辛子煮込み。いえ、そういうわけ。
じゃあまずは黒瀬鈴木の唐辛子煮。おいら確かにパイモンも迷ってるみたいだし、私が黒瀬鈴木の唐辛子煮込みは結構辛いから、せっかくの解凍祭だし、リーユエ名物のリーユエ算数とお食べくださいも外せないね。メインは今日は新しいお友達が来てるから心尽くしにして、それからデザートに北条追雪餅。これは私の新作なんだ。
ちょっと多すぎじゃ。
Yeah, it's crazy to think too. Like, you know, like, so Americans are like known for being fat, right? Because it's like, yeah, we're fat, we eat too much food. But like Chinese like food, it's like I've seen so many stories and shit like this where it's just like, yeah, we're gonna order like 10 dishes, and like obviously yes, that we are sharing and stuff. But it's crazy to think that they make so many dishes for all their food, but like generally Asians are like are relatively skinny, right? They are obviously fat Asians. There's fat everything, all right? If you eat too much, but like considering like this is a cultural thing, the fact that like if it was a cultural thing and they were all fat, you're just like, oh, okay, well obviously this cultural thing is leading to you overeating. You know, this cultural tradition is just leading to you overeating. But it's like when generally they're mostly thin, you know, despite having a culture of ordering like 5 to 10 dishes for these meals, it's crazy, right? And obviously it's portion control, right? Rather than getting an insanely huge portion, like you're getting 10 dishes, but like each dish might only have a few bites worth of stuff, which is kind of hard for us to imagine as Americans. Because like when you get Chinese food in America, like if you get a fried rice, if you go to like a Chinese restaurant and you order a thing of fried rice, you get like a big fucking thing of fried rice, right? You get like 8 servings of fried rice on one plate, right? Whereas like if you order the same thing maybe from within China, you know, you might only get enough servings for the actual number of people on thing. It's like, oh yeah, rather than giving you 8 servings of fried rice, we're going to give you like 4, which you then split evenly amongst 4 people perfectly. So I think it's kind of hard to imagine because all American Chinese food places have a portion size that is just huge, right? And even if so it's kind of up to us to manage our portion size so that we don't eat too much. Of course, Americans don't do that very well, and that's why we're a generally obese country. But yeah, it is kind of crazy when you're like, yeah, well, here's 5 dishes and we're gonna serve all these things. You're like, god damn, like, because if you order like 5 American-sized dishes, that would be insane. Like one American-sized dish should like completely fill you up, right? So anyway, it's just a cultural difference and stuff, and I mean, and I kind of prefer it the way Americans do it, in just making one big dish instead of like lots of little dishes, because it just saves time, right? Because like making 5 dishes, like that's a huge pain in the ass to do, right? Because you need like 5 different sets of ingredients, even if some of them are shared, right? You need 5. You're cooking 5 fucking things all at once. Like, goddamn, that's annoying.
でも今日は初めて白馬の仙人様。よし、じゃあみんなゆっくりしてて。
ちょっと待って。白馬の仙。そう、私こそ白馬の仙人だ。
これは
びっくりした。どうした？娘。この前まで考古状態にいたんだけど、双眼鏡園で古い遺物を調べると、出土したものは老館っていう大昔のもので、 沈玉の谷の人々の、それが白馬の仙人とどう関係あるの？出土品の中に白馬の仙人を形取ったものや文字が残されていたのよ。確かに白馬の仙人がその時代の神仙だったという伝説もある。もっと詳しい記録を見つけることができれば。歴史に興味が。私は偶然高校招待に入っただけなんだけど、この道に進んだからには何かを成し遂げたいの。でも最近良くないことがあって、人を殴っちゃったのよ。ほう。武術家に転身するつもり？そういうことじゃないわ。かすり傷だったから。でも仕事はもうダメかもしれないわ。総務士も相手も大ごとにはしないって言ってくれたけど、父が家宝で罰するって言ってるから。家宝って要するにお仕置きってこと。反省のための禁足令。解答祭が終わったら妖艶荘に戻って禁止。
厳しすぎだぞ。なんかすごい家だな。
I mean, not really. It's like, dude, she fucks shit up, right? Like, sure, it wasn't really her fault. You know, it wasn't really her fault. It wasn't really her fault, for one. And like, no one's pressing charges. But like, you did fuck around a little too much, right? Like, you did cause a bunch of problems. So like, to have your parents punish you because of the shit you caused, right? That's not crazy. And then like being grounded, it's like, really, like that's like the most common simple punishment in the world. Like the way these guys overreact is fucking insane. It's like, oh my god, you banished them for 3 days? These beings who've lived for thousands of years. You've banished them from your mountain, you know, the mountain they don't live at and don't need to appear at ever. Like, it's one thing if you like banish them from the entirety of the Juyun Karst, right? You kick them out of their home and be like, yeah, you can't come back to your home for 3 days. But it's like, no, you can't come into my home for 3 days, and you've lived for thousands of years. Most of those days weren't on my home, in my home. It's like, how is that harsh? How is being grounded harsh, right? You committed a bunch of crimes, right? Sure, it wasn't your fault, and there were extenuating circumstances, but it's still like, you know, you still did it. So you're lucky that you're not being, you know, charges aren't being pressed, but to have your parents ground you for it is not super crazy. Now, she is saying, oh, I don't know when I'm going to get out. It's like, yeah, you don't know. But, like, it could be a week from now, for all we know, right? It could be practically no time. It could be a month, you know? It's not harsh at all. It's one thing if it's like, I'm being put to the mines, my parents are going to take me back and are going to force me into service where I have to, you know, work in the mines for a solid month. It's like, yeah, that would be one thing. But just being grounded, like, really? Oh no, you have to do nothing for a little bit of period of time at your home? That must be so rough.
すごい家なんてとんでもないよ。行営層にお茶畑。
宿屋？あ、まさかハック激流の。
ええ、私の祖父よ。
すごい偶然だな。そういえばロシーって白馬の仙人に会いたく。でもこういうことじゃないような。
娘、随分と裕福な家庭で育ったようだな。なぜわざわざ家に頼って生きていく方がいいとは限らないわ。父なんて最近父が祖父からハック改善。
I mean, yeah, because your father's like in charge of the inn, right? it's not super easy to be in charge of a business, right? It's not like, oh yeah, like it's easy in the sense that like, cool, at least you know what your job is going to be, right? Yes, my father owns the inn. I'm going to own the inn after him. Then my children will own it after me, right? Sure, it's easy in that sense where you know you have a job. You have a job and you know what's going to happen. But like, that's basically kind of it.
結果は散々で
So
祖父は何日も親不孝者と父を叱り続けて
yeah.
今も喧嘩中なのよ
So I guess she might be trying to like help her father in a way, because if she can find more about the White Horse Adeptus, she might be able to like convince her father to stop being such a dick, right? Stop trying to change the inn for a quick easy buck, while not paying attention to the real problems.
つまりね誰かに頼れば頼るほどその人の言いなりになるしかなくなったから私は外に出て自分の道を切り開くの何か君たち人間は実に面白い苦しみを乗り越えてでも他の人間より上に這い上がるために私と同じようにこの世を楽しむためだと思っていたのだがなえ自分が本当に好きなことを探してみたことはあるか好きなことああ取り組む際に苦労を感じずに済むことのでももちろんだシャンリンを見てみるといい華麗なヘラさばきをつまり私が言いたいのはどうしても苦しむしかないのならばあなたにとってはそれがロールプレイまあそんなところだ
But no, like she does have a good point, right? Like presumably, like I assumed that she was going into archaeology because she liked it, right? Like I that's why I thought she was doing it. She wants to rise above others, but I thought she like enjoyed doing it. But the fact that she's even stymied by that question makes it seem like she went into archaeology for a purpose. And it could have been like she wanted to find more stuff about the White Horse Adeptus so she could bring it back to her father and be like, hey, look, father, here's more shit about White Horse Adeptus, which would please her grandfather and maybe convince her father to, to give up on trying to superficially change the inn to chase a quick buck, But it seems like she's maybe not even that into it. She's just kind of treating archaeology as a means to an end, which means she's not really enjoying it per se. Obviously, you still can enjoy the things you're using as a means to an end, but like typically, if you're just doing it to achieve a goal, chances are you're not doing something that you particularly enjoy. You have a goal you're trying to achieve, and so you're just doing it.
こいつの白馬の仙人
そうね帰る前に
お待たせできたよ
やっとこの毒入り水
だから料理のせいじゃないってなんだどうし
辛い
Yeah, and like it seems like that girl is just trying to. She just wants to be free, essentially, and so she's just trying anything to be free. But she's not trying what she wants. She just is trying to achieve the goal of freedom, or not being, Which is like, okay, yeah, sure, like, but there are many paths to become free, right? There are many paths to become independent. You should pick the path that you enjoy, right? You shouldn't pick the path where you do something you enjoy. So if she actually didn't truly enjoy archaeology, she would just go back to being an archaeologist, right? But if she truly enjoyed martial arts, she would go do that instead. So I guess she lived as the daughter of an innkeeper, granddaughter of an innkeeper for so long. She just like she knows she. I guess she does. It seems like she knows she doesn't want to do that. At the very least, she doesn't want to be an innkeeper. But she doesn't really know what she wants to do. She just knows what she doesn't want to do.
物語を語る人たちがいるんだ。真如壁観とか蒼龍転生とか発揮伝統とか。
月に関する話はないのか。
それはまだ聞いたことない。そうだね。
では二人に。
よーし。
Oh, cool. We actually get the recipe for whatever she made. I wonder what it is. Darn. So this actually. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think we can cook in here, right? Okay. What was that? So this? No, it's not. Oh, here it is. Lucky Snow Delight. So lotus root, Qingqi flour, sugar, and flour. Oh, that's nice. That's a massive regen, too. Or that's a massive flat amount of HP plus a regen, which is pretty sweet. Obviously, a regen like that is not crazy good. Like, if you think 1,000... So, basically 6,000 health, but when you have, like, 40,000 health, it's not a ton. It's also every 5 seconds for 30 seconds, goddamn. That's interesting. But even this, it's like, actually, yeah, so this is basically the same percentage, and it just heals at 1900 flat out, which obviously this beats it over time, but yeah, this is something that you could do and let yourself be topped off later. There definitely are some more value in things like this, especially because I think you can use this and then something like this simultaneously. Sure, you become more full, but like you could do this, and if you do take another hit of damage, you can then swap to this to heal that and let this passive regen still continue, I think. I don't think it interrupts it.
This series, 言いづらいですね。よく練習しないと舞台上で飛んだ恥をかくことに。
天上術だなんてよくも言えるな。天下だことに解明しろ。
私も最初はあなたと。でも言葉の意味をよく噛み締め。
おっしゃる通りですね。
ウンキー、お前もここにいた。
またお会いできましたね。白馬の仙人だ。
白馬の仙人？
本物っては。
なるほど。
そういうことなら私も負けませんよ。昔蒼龍転生の演技をやろうとしていた時に元王帝君になりきったこと。
それってただ
お言葉ですが、我々は文化人。
おいらが無教養みたいな言い方するなよな。
そんなに教養が終わりなら古詩一首でも聞かせてください。
詩か？
もうボロが出ましたね。古詩一首という詩があるんです。
I mean, this is like stupid. Oh, well, if you've seen so much, clearly you've seen this one specific thing that has the most generic name in the world. You never heard an ancient poem called an ancient poem? It's like, you do realize, how are we supposed to know you're using a proper noun or just an adjective, right? You know, we don't know that you are referring to an ancient poem called an ancient poem. You just said, hey, can you recite an ancient poem? And it's like, how the fuck are we supposed to know what you mean when the words are literally the same? You know? Can you recite an ancient poem? Ancient poem, the proper noun. Ancient poem, the adjective plus normal noun. You know, adjective as an ancient. Normal noun is in poem. How the fuck are we supposed to know that? And even if it was obvious, right? Maybe if you had said the ancient poem called the ancient poem, right? To be explicit. Like, saying, oh, you might have seen a lot, but you didn't see this one thing, therefore I'm going to invalidate all your experiences. If you haven't seen this one specific thing that only people who are specifically looking for it would know, then clearly you don't know shit. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I've seen 500 amazing things. Just because I haven't seen one of them doesn't invalidate all those 500 experiences.
パイモンさんをからかわないであげてください。
詩の意味がわからなかったので、とりあえず古詩一首と呼んでいたのですが、先日が
Yeah, and it's even worse now because it's like when we first saw it, we couldn't figure out. So in the meantime, we decided to refer to it. So that's not even its real name. It's just the name that you chose to refer it to. If you chose to refer to that name, how the fuck would we know what you and the archaeologists collectively, internally decided what you would call it, right? This is not its real name. It does have a real name. So you don't even know that. And yet you're trying to say that we don't know shit because we can't recognize a poem by the made-up name you decided to call it because you can't find its real name?
国政も同じ。はい。総務士から今夜月が消えるかもしれないという知らせが不安なら個人に倣ってこの詩を読んで白馬の仙人様をお呼びすれば月と私たちの安寧を。そんなにすごいのか
Oh, she was on all the moons? I assumed she was just on one. Although, to be fair, from the image we saw previously, it did seem like all three moons were like layered on top of each other. Obviously, it's probably a trick of the light. They probably were all just like... they probably were different sizes. So one was smaller, one was bigger, and one was even bigger. And the smaller one was closer, with the middle one in between. So basically, you see the small one layered on top of the middle one, on top of the big one in the night sky, because they're just in a line. Yeah, there's a frost moon, iridescent moon. Was it a third one called Eternal Moon? I forget what they were all called. Obviously, frost moon just keeps coming up a lot. Was Eternal the one that went to the dark side, and is Arlecchino's moon, or was that iridescent? Yeah, it's really hard to keep track of the names of those moons, other than Frost Moon, because we know Frost Moon is Columbina's, and there's the Frost Moon Scion, so like that point is hit home really hard. But like for the other two moons, it's kind of hard to remember, because like the only one we really kind of interacted with was the one that turned evil, because we had to go into that space to get the corrupted moon marrow, the red moon marrow, and I just can't remember which one that was, which moon that originally was. I think it might have been iridescent, but I'm not 100% sure. Because we have no frame of reference for the other one. Like, we mostly did stuff with the frost moon. We had a brief interaction with one of the moons that had that red moon marrow. But for the third one, it was just like, yeah, you just have the moon marrow somehow. And like, we have no clue how you got it. We had no real interaction with the moon revolving around it. And then we see the three moon goddesses, but like, I forget. Like, obviously the blue one was the frost moon one. I think iridescent was the red one. But whatever. It's also hard to say, like... But yeah. It's also hard to say whether the red moon goddess we saw in Columbina's thing was the iridescent. I think it was iridescent, but yeah, I just can't remember. I'd have to look it up to refresh my memory. But yeah, I thought she was I thought she served just one moon. So maybe she served the three of them collectively, I guess.
天女来世で地を開く。才杖持ちて働く。
文字すら見ずに。
おや、これはこれ。白馬の仙人をよく研究されて。
何せ、私は
素晴らしい。そうやってなりきってこそ深く役に入り込めるのです。我こそ元王帝君なり。お気持ちよくわかりますよ。
君はなかなか面白いな。
白馬の仙人様、お会いできて光栄です。この詩の真意をご
解説してほしいのか？
はい。ぜひ
面白い。今のリーユエには
確かに歴史を愛する人が多いですが、新しいことに興味を持つ人もいます。
そうそう。お嬢さんや私
She's awfully shocked about Ginny.
プレイを好む人だっていますからね。
つまり、古きを尊ぶというよりも、百花繚乱と言うべきですね。
なるほど。では君たちの疑問に答えてやろう。豪月が夜空に昇り、天女が空から降り立つ。身につけた宝玉のように美しい彼女は、光月が夜空に昇り、天女が空から降り立つ。身につけ蒼月が夜空に昇り、天女が空から降り立つ。
やはり月から
彼女は人々に農具で雑草を取り、土を肥やすために耕し、彼女は豆や麦を祝福し、豊かな芽が絶えぬように。
へえ。
穀物を収穫して美酒とし、天女に捧げる。完璧に準備を整え、天女よ、空中を舞うその姿はまさにこの世に降り立つ千人。天女よ、その清らかな我らが願いを天へと飛ばし、来年も
そんな意味だったんだ。
感動しました。お嬢さん、あなたこそ真のロールプレイ。
感服しました。まさか総務士の告知からわずか数日でこの詩をここまで。私も少しは理解できたと思っていましたが、井の中の蛙。
娘よ、謙遜するな。私も君や今日のリーユエ校から。
ではあなたはリーユエ出身では
さあな。さて案内役よ、次はどこへ行こうか。
いいぞ。今日はお前の行きたいところ。もう行ってしまわれるのですね。ご挨拶が
私の名など取るに足らん。しかし
星一種じゃない
のもちろん違う。この詩は老夫。そうだ。
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the card game is really well designed. The problem is it is just kind of like time consuming. Oh, can I not interact with this? Oh, I can. It just. God damn it! Get on the fucking table. Yeah, it's annoying that this person put it on top of the fucking table. Because apparently you can't interact with it from below. And so it just makes it really fucking annoying to deal with. Oh, there's Emily over here. Oh, Yang Yang is gone, so I guess Emily must be above. Probably. There she is.
旅人さん。はい。もともとリーウェで花の香りを調べる予定があですが、先ほどとある女性に。ありがとうございます。さて。回答祭とは旅人さんも。
この前ナドくらいに行った時、蒼月のこの蔵書に面白い。
Oh, interesting. Because we actually did. I do remember seeing Yanfei in Nod Cry. I forget which one. I think it might have been an anecdote. So I'm curious if they would have mentioned this. They would still keep this dialogue in. I assume they would, because whether or not you actually saw Yanfei in Nodcry doesn't really matter, because she's basically just saying, announcing she was there.
なんと彼らの神の使い、白馬の仙人の断言はできないけどな。しかしこんなに遠く離れているのにだぞ。面白いとは思わないか。はい、異国の人々も、ああ、まるで皆つながっているようだ。はい、エイさん、嬉しそうですね。戻ってきてすぐに特大の小刀見物に誘ってくださったのも納得です。ただ残念ながらバーヤでさえ白馬の仙人には会ったことがないそうだ。
エンヒ、カンウ、白馬の仙人は架空の存在なんかじゃないぞ。
おや、旅人とパイモンじゃないか。ずいぶん久しぶりだ。会えて嬉しいぞ。本当に解答祭はしかし。でもパイモン、さっき言っていたのはどういうことだ？もちろんだ。ほら、こちらは私こそ白馬の仙人だ。なんと、あなたが白馬。
そうなんだ。
Like, I don't get why we have, like, I understand why we say that in front of humans, but like these are Adeptus themselves. Like, if there was gonna ever be someone who would find out the truth, it would be them, right? Because the other Adeptus, you know, we interacted with Mountain Shaper and Moon Carver and Zhen Yun, or Cloud Retainer. All of them know that we're trying to revive Zibai. So does Zhongli. So eventually, when Yanfei and Ganyu go back and interact with them again, they might find out as well, right? Especially if Zibai starts hanging out with the other older Adepti, right? If she hangs out with them, then clearly Ganyu and Yanfei are going to show up. So what's the point of telling them that she's not her when they're by far the most likely to learn that she actually is?
そうだったのか。お二人とも仲良くなれそうですね。刺客さんも消灯を見に来たんだろう。ん？この馬の形をしたその通り。白馬の仙人をいいめ。
何笑って。
この消灯が
どういうこと？
この消灯は確かに見事だが、君たち、
そう言われてみれば見たこと。
この消灯は走っている馬を模したものだろう。だが側対歩と呼ばれるかなり珍しい歩法をとっているように見える。私が白馬の仙人が同じ側の前後の足を同時に動かして走っているところを想像すると、思わず笑いがこみ上げてきたのだ。おお、知らなかった。
Yeah, usually it would be the back legs move, then the front legs move. So the front legs move together and the back legs move together. You know, like if you ever try to like run on four legs, right? Like if you get on all four, if you as a human get on all fours, you're unlikely to move your left leg and right leg, or left leg and left arm together, right? No, you'll probably push off with your back legs, and then use your your arms to, you know, touch the ground together and propel you forward, and then push off with your back legs again. That's probably what you, as a human, would do. Obviously, like, well, we're not designed for that as well, but yeah, I think that's.
考えが至らなかったと思ってな。私の物語などもう誰も気にかけてなどいないと。その認識は大間違いだぞ。白馬の仙人の話は私。
オイラたちも知ってるぜ。
いいや、今から話す。
そうなのか？
ああ、私だって昨日カーンから聞いたばかり。はい。何か。
鍋じゃなくて。
はい。ですが実はかまど神祭当初は祝月という戦火の。
ピンバーヤもそんなこと。
龍雲神君の話によれば、祝月というのは月と交信する シン君も詳しくは知らないようでした。ずっと。
ショーイ、グアン王帝君がか？
Yeah, it's like, I find this a little stupid, right? This is the second time, right? She did this in this one fucking interaction. Where it was like, where is it? Yes, you know, to the honor of Guoba, she's about to say Guoba. Oh, the stove god. Oh, Zhongli. Oh, no, this. It's like, dude, could you stop being so fucking stupid? Could you just stop being so fucking dumb? Could, like, I hate the whole. It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking dumb. It's such an overdone trope where basically you start to say what you really mean and then catch yourself midway. Right? Like, what are the odds you actually catch yourself midway? No, you just say the fucking name. Right? If it's that instinctual, you would have just said it. Because it takes you a literal second to say someone's name. Zhongli, done. It's 2 syllables. It's 2 syllables. If it's so instinctual that you're just going to say it, who the fuck would interrupt themselves in that fraction of a second before they can realize, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that, right? No one. It just doesn't happen in real world. You either say the full fucking thing, because it's just instinctual. You're like, oh, it's Zhongli, right? You make the association in your head, and then you say it, and then you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that, right? You realize after the fact, once you hear your own words, that you're like, oh shit, that was the real name, right? No one actually catches themselves midway. And doing it twice in one fucking cutscene is just fucking annoying. Because this indicates you're a fucking moron. You're a fucking idiot who doesn't think about what they say before they say it. So you just say these instinctual things without realizing that you're trying to keep a secret here. And it's also impossible, because if you were actually that fucking stupid and saying things that thoughtlessly, you would have just said it. And you wouldn't have caught yourself. But the whole point is, I mean, and it's just done for a narrative reason, right? It's to be like, no, she's actually talking about Guoba. I mean, the stove god. Oh, she's actually talking about Zhongli and Rex. It's basically trying to tell the audience Guoba and stove god are the same. Zhongli and Red Clapis are the same. It's like, dude, if you need to be slapped upside the face with this obvious thing, could you just, like, not do it in such a stupid way? Because it's also the kind of thing where it's like, you don't need to speak! You know? You don't need to say anything. You don't need to... Also, you don't even need to say their name, right? It was always Rex Lapis. Really? They did it themselves? It must have been important. Like, you don't even need to say the name. And to be fair, I think it also is... it's definitely different in Asian languages, I believe. Because I know in Japanese, you barely use pronouns. You actually just use the proper name of something. You know, if you Rex Lapis San or Sama, you know, did that. It's rarely, you don't, they do exist, right? There are Kare, Kanojo, him, her, you know, they do exist in the language, but it's far more common to use their actual name in the sentence. I'm not sure how it works in Chinese. Maybe they reference people by their full name. Maybe they say the full name. Maybe it's more common to use pronouns he and her in Chinese. Hard to say. In English though, it's super easy to avoid someone's name. Like, I'm terrible at remembering names because generally you don't really need to know someone's name, right? You have you. Hey, have you ever seen this? Oh, what would you like to do? Right? The only time you ever really need to say someone's name is, one, if they ask you what their name is, or two, if you're trying to call to them from a distance, right? You need to indicate who you're speaking to. But generally, if you're actually in a conversation with someone, you rarely ever actually need to say their name. And the other situation, of course, is you're referring to someone who's not there. So yeah, sure, if you needed to refer to Zhongli and no one had set up a previous sentence associated with him, then you have to obviously say his name to let people know that's who you're talking about. However, she was just talking about Zhongli. So you could just interrupt saying, oh, really? They performed the ritual themselves. It must have been really important, right? Like, you don't need to say his name, because if you say he afterwards, or if you say they afterwards, it's obviously assumed that you're talking about Zhongli.
しかし昨日国生さんが月が黒い穴のようなもので隠されてしまった写真を見たシン君はハッとしたかのように、祝月の儀式は実際にそれって
勝利は
どうだ？独占スクープだぞ。白馬の仙人が月追い祭と関係して。
国生さんが写真を持って訪ねに来なきゃ。
国生が新しい発想を得たとかって言っ
関心ずっと呼び。
誰？
いや、その確かにそうだ、案内人たちよ。もう
移動するの？
だからこそゆっくり考えられる場所。あら、林友湖を観光なさっていたんですか？
そうだな。あそこは高い場所にあるから。おっと。
ではまた夜の会場でお会いしましょう。
お前らも行っちゃう。
また会おう。
では案内人たち、行こ
よし、玉境内に行こうぜ。今日はお客さんの言うことが絶対だからな。
う。まだ何かあるのか？写真。
この瞬間をパシャって記録できる超すごい発明だ。
ほう。それには何か準備がいるのか？
いらないぜ。どんなポーズ、姿勢で映るかだけ考えといてくれ。よし、準備できたぞ。
That's an unusual.
すっごくいい写真だろ。おいらがいいタイトルをつけてやるぜ。
She seems awful. She's smiling way more than I thought she would.
凡人が時を止める術を見つけられるとはな。君たちはいつもいつの間にか何でもできるようになっている。さあ行こう。玉境内はこの方向か？
おい、待ってくれよ。
It's gonna take us there. Okay, so it's gonna take it. I was gonna say if it was something I had to run to, then I was gonna take a break here, but I'll finish this cutscene because I assume this is the end of this act.
そういえば大切な日なんだぞ。大切な家族や友達と集まつまらぬ一日。
私は神や仙人の降臨や奇跡の現れ、あるいは困っている人のために身を張って助けるような展開を、せめて惜しみなく金銭を振るって思うがままに豪遊でもしていればな。しかしそんなものは何もなく、ただ食事をして物語をなんという平凡な一日だろうか。
悪かったよ。
I think she actually likes it.
そういう、全部勝利のせいだぞ。
もう遅い。私と一体となった残魂を。
それは。
Well, of course, we're the more astute of the pair. She's completely fucking stupid. Paimon's fucking retarded. She has the intelligence of a 5-year-old. Like no matter who we were, no matter how dumb we were, we would still be more astute than she is. She's fucking dumb as fuck. And like intentionally so. She's supposed to be stupid so that she can ask the questions that the players want to ask, right? She's so dumb that will constantly be asking questions so that they can give exposition bombs to explain to Paimon something that the players can now be like, oh, okay, like everyone else in the world understands the basis of this world, so we need someone who's so fucking stupid to ask the obvious questions that the player's not aware of because everyone else in the world is aware of it.
その通りだ。眼神の国は
今までのは
まだわからないか？出会った凡人たちに物語を聞かせたこともあったが、どうせ忘れ去られるものだと思っていた。元王帝君の言っていた通りかもしれぬな。かつ
じゃあオイラたちの頼みを。
ああ、とっくに聞き入れると決めていた。この町に足を踏み入れた時、とある飛脚が路地を駆け抜け、二担ぎの者が木箱を下ろし、行商人が屋台を押してくる。料理人は飯を作り、
Yeah, basically, she saw a peaceful world, which is all that she really kind of wanted for Langan. Like that was what she did in Langan. She just wanted them to live a good life, and that's why she was even punished. Is because she tried to help them survive and lead a good life. Like that's what she's always been trying to do, is to help out the common people. So when she comes to a city like this, where everyone is happy and content and able to do what they want and live their best life, you know, she's basically seen her dream fulfilled to a degree. It's hard to say how much of the original Zebai goals and motivations are a part of her. Like, her basis is the basis of a portion of her soul, but like, you know, it's hard to say how much that affected her current personality.
しかし、誰もがやがてこの穏やかな秩序の中で、かつて老館で見たいと願っていた光景が数千年の全く素晴らしい世界だ。ありがとな。仙人か。仙人とは所詮山。しかしその山を離れさ、礼を言わせてくれ。旅人パイモン、さあ持っていくがよい。ここでか？その必要はない。水は定まらず、花は散りゆく。人はまたいつか巡り合う。長き別れを恐るることなかれ。
Yeah, it's really hard to screenshot those particle effects. I see a screenshot and it's like, oh, like a lot of the particle effects are gone because it's a trick of the eye. Is because you're seeing like the remnants of old particle effects. You're seeing a lot of particle effects in frames, right? So one frame is one layer of particle effects, the other frame is another layer. And so when you take a screenshot, you're only capturing one layer of it. But when you have multiple layers, you know, being shown frame by frame, it layers on top of each other in your eye and in your perception. But when you actually take a screenshot, you're only getting that one frame, and so it doesn't look nearly as impressive.
残魂が体を離れた今、
勝利、いつからいたんだ？
少し前からだ。
おいら、てっきりお前も
変わらないように見える山石も、流れる水には角を削り取られる。時の失勢が彼女に刻んだ。別れても、本当か？途方もない歳月の果てかもしれないし。
What do you mean? Yeah, it's like, isn't the whole point of this so that we resurrect Zebai? Like, the whole point is to resurrect her, so it should be very, very soon, not years.
そいつは三子神の記憶を持ってるのか？
その答えはすぐに。
That is an interesting question, right? I don't know, like, technically you don't store memories in the soul, so realistically speaking, you wouldn't. But it's hard to say, right? Like, we obviously have no way of proving that. And there are definitely, I'm sure there definitely are people who say your sense of self is contained within the soul, which may include your memories. And like, there's the whole, I mean, especially Chinese mythology, is that has when you die, your soul goes to hell, and you're forced to drink this like potion from this like witch, and which wipes your memories so that you can be reborn. So by their mythology, memories are stored within the soul. So now we know that memories are stored within the brain, you know, physically. So if even if we do have a soul and our soul is extracted, we should have forgotten everything about ourselves. Presumably. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things you obviously can't prove in any way. But yeah, so according to them, it's like, well, I guess if according to Chinese mythology, memories are stored in the soul, and we combine all souls back together, it's possible that they have memories of their of their soul's life.
始まりますね。本当に月は隠れるのか？
Oh, is it doing it right now?
いいかい？もちろん。
あんたは天の剣
I thought that was what Quest 4 was going to
で
be.
きないのか？
あれ？
Yeah, I thought Quest 4 was where we were going to
お月様が出たら月御前
where this was going to happen.
ああ、これが月食か。
豪月昇り天女降る軽玉樹木をことほぎてよくよきタフを作りけり高月昇り天女降る白玉草木をことほぎて美しきタフを作りけり蒼月昇り天女降る
Oh, it's her outfit that they gave her for this.
天女来世で地を開く
It's the outfit you can win for doing this event for Yao Yao.
五穀豊かに実りけり豆麦祝い苗育つ栗稲植えば玉実る身を美しとなし立祭る神に社運をさうべし天舞う姿善なりや我ら守りし神なりや願いを届け幸い来たれ
Oh, I see. So we put the souls in the Zhao Lantern, which then rises to where the shadow of the moon is, which is where she resides.
命令が邪道に陥らぬよ
Well, were those all the colors of the soul? Were the three colors that shine briefly in her eyes the colors of her soul? That's cool. Hey, we saved her, maybe. Honestly, I thought it would be more involved than that. I thought Quest 4 was going to be like, let's go resurrect her. There she is. Yeah, I thought like Quest 4 us going being I thought we'd have to us go back into that domain to give her the souls directly from within the domain. And then from that we'd be able to break her out of it. We're like basically I thought we'd go into the domain, give her back the souls, and then as she gets the souls back and like turns back into Zibai or resurrects Zibai, the realm would crumble around us because it finally reached the end of its lifespan. But because Zibai was now complete, and no longer tied to the realm, she didn't die. That's kind of what I was expecting was going to happen.
リーユへではどうして空一面に明かりが浮かんでいる
It's a simple effect to do that, right? All you need to do is it could be just one layer, right? It could just be one layer that slightly moves. You could have multiple layers, but all you need to do is put just a layer in the skybox to have these Zhao lanterns. It's super simple to implement, but it looks so pretty. You know, it's just so cool. You just have like you have a moving image that you just paste onto the skybox, so that just make it seem like lanterns are coming out from the realm and just being in the sky at all times.
誕生
我が友
紫伯
お前のことだぞ
私はそんなら君は感謝
かつての別れから幾清掃もの時が過ぎてしまう
帰ったしかしこのリーユへという場所は君たち君は魚を食べたせいでどうにかなってしまった宝探しの方は大手柄を
おいおい全然違うぞそれはロコ
あら違うのね
その上
私の おや、案内人たちじゃないか。元気。
間違ってはないけど。
別れていた魂が融合したばかりで、まだ半覚醒状態なのだ。
それって半分。
数日かもしれないし、数年。千人の見る夢の長さは、下界の
Yeah, exactly. These are beings that live for thousands of years. That's why it's like, it's crazy to think, you're like, years? It's like, dude, you realize you're talking to someone thousands of years old, right? Like, what is a few years compared to that? That's why her, like, thinking that the Mountain Shaper and Moon, or Mountain Shaper and Moon Chaser, or whatever, the two of them being banished for 3 days was a punishment, a harsh punishment. Like, what? It's 3 fucking days for beings who have lived for thousands of years. Like, they probably sleep for longer than that.
そっか。
ああ、深く考える必要はない。
あら、あの人間たちは。
みんな解凍祭を楽しんでるんだ。空に浮かんでるのは消灯。
解凍祭？
もちろんだぜ。この数日な、もう一回道中会ったみんなにも会いに行こう。勝利、お前も特に用事はないんだろ。
悪くない。
そうだ。な、みんなに挨拶するの。
解凍祭を祝して。解凍祭を祝。
Okay, this is presumably the end of Act 3, right? And then Act 4, I guess, will be... I assume there was 4 acts, wasn't there? I could have sworn I saw there was 4 little markers in the quest log. So maybe the last one will be an epilogue. Although it's kind of hard to say, like, how would it be an epilogue? Because, like, we've already done what we wanted to do. Yeah. Do I have enough? Not for that, I guess. Oops, fuck. Okay, so I've done all those, I guess. Okay, cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and call it, though. Oh, actually, yeah, here's... Yeah, so there's just this quest left. Oh, okay, so I guess the Lantern Light's over, and now it's kind of like... Oh, I see, this is where I get her Ascension materials, by completing the quest. Okay. I was kind of complaining, because I was like, yeah, normally when there's a new character, there's like, oh yeah, if you do their character quest, there's a reward for getting basically these materials. A few Prima Gems, 6 of their Ascension materials, which is enough to cover their first 2 Ascensions. Well, the first 3, technically, because the first Ascension from 20, to get past the level 20 limit, doesn't require any special materials. And then ascending from 40 and 50 require 2 and 4, respectively. So you can level her to 60, no problem with the materials they provide right here. So I was kind of surprised. I'm like, yeah, there's no character quest for her. What the fuck? So I guess we're just going to have to farm it. But no, okay, there's that. So, but yeah, so I'll do that tomorrow and wrap that up because I've been walking for an hour and 30 minutes, which is a lot of time, and I am pooped and hungry. So I'm going to take a little break, shower off, and then continue. No, not with this game. I'll be playing Enfield. So I'll pop into Enfield and continue doing some of the side quests that I've been slacking off on. Yesterday I did the Levitane's character quest, which was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. It was a pretty cool event. Learn more about her. I didn't realize Searcher was an Arknights until I saw a screenshot yesterday where they were like, oh look, like, because like I've seen all sorts of like screenshots where like, look, this character looks very similar to this character from Arknights, right? And you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, like sure, it's in the same world. Of course, they're gonna have the same species, and you're gonna have characters that look somewhat similar. But the idea was that this is hundreds of years later, so no one's exactly the same. Like it's not the same people. It's just maybe their descendants, perhaps, you know. But then, Levitane's quest kept consistently mentioning Surtur, or Surt, And then I saw the screenshot, and it was basically a girl who looked exactly like Levitane, who was called Cert in Arknights. So I guess I don't know if Levitane's supposed to be literally her, because like she has memory loss, so I don't know. The way they made it seem like Cert was a different entity, but it could just be that. But they also kind of made it seem like, okay, it's either a different entity or it's the same entity, and she just lost her memories for some reason or another. Hard to say exactly. So like that's what's kind of confusing. But it was interesting. That was like, oh look, there was a Cert in Arknights, and so that looked identical to Levitane. That's the only one that was like seemingly a direct connection, where it's like, yeah, that seems to be the exact same person. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Be right back.